Robert Browning, 1812 to 1889, one of the leading poets of the Victorian age, was born in Camberwell, South London. Browning had a comfortable and stable upbringing as his father worked for the Bank of England. Browning was exposed to literature quite early in his life, for his father was a great collector of books, who along with his mother encouraged him to take interest in literature. He read extensively but hated school education and was educated at home by a tutor. At 14, he was fluent in French, Greek, Italian and Latin. He became a great admirer of Shelley, whose ideals he blindly tried to imitate. He refused to pursue a formal career and devoted himself to poetry. Pauline, Paracelsus, Sordello, Men and Women, his Dramatis Personae, The Ring and The Book and Bells and Pomegranates. 8 volumes are his prominent works. He is well known for his brilliant and exemplary dramatic monologues. My Last Duchess is a perfect example of dramatic monologue, the masterful use of which Browning excels at. The poem portrays a Renaissance aristocrat Duke Ferrara, who, a widower at present, is engaged in a conversation with an emissary from the family of the girl he is planning to marry. The reader is allowed to eavesdrop on the dramatized monologue of Ferrara, who, standing before his dead wife's portrait, brazenly lists her failings and foibles. The poem provides an insight into the mind of a chauvinistic man who uses this opportunity to issue a masked threat to the girl he is about to marry. The last duchess, in the widower's view, was too easy to please and her deportment was unbecoming of a duchess. The imperious speaker makes it a point to flaunt his pride about his feudal thoughts and actions. The reader is provided an intellectually rewarding glimpse into the psychodynamics of a self-conceited man. That's My Last Duchess, painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. I call that piece a wonder. Now, F.R.A. Pandolf's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. Will't please you sit and look at her? I said. F.R.A. Pandolf by design, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance, the depth and passion of its earnest glance. But to myself they turned, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you but I, and seemed as they would ask me, if they durst, how such a glance came there. So, not the first are you to turn and ask thus. Sir, was not her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheek? Perhaps F.R.A. Pandolf chanced to say, her mantle laps over my lady's wrist too much, or paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half flush that dies along her throat. Such stuff was courtesy, she thought, and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. She had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She liked waiter. She looked on, and her looks went everywhere. Sir, was all one. My favor at her breast, the dropping of the daylight in the west, The bough of cherries some officious fool broke in the orchard for her. The white mule she rode with round the terrace all, and each would draw from her alike the approving speech, or blush, at least. She thanked men good, but thanked somehow I know not how as if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift who would stoop to blame. This sort of trifling, even had you skill in speech which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one, and say just this or that in you disgusts me. Here you miss, or there exceed the mark. And if she let herself be lessoned so, nor plainly set her wits to yours, forsooth, and made excuse, e'en then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whene'er I passed her, but who passed without much the same smile? This grew. I gave commands. Then all smiles stopped together. There she stands, as if alive. Will't please you rise? We'll meet the company below, then. I repeat, the Count your master's known munificence is ample warrant that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed, though his fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting, is my object. Nay, we'll go together down, sir. Notice Neptune, though taming a seahorse thought a rarity, which Claus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me.